Hey there, how's it going, guys? I hope you're doing well today. It's Monday, 5:30 Eastern Time, and I'm excited to be here with you all for my first show and tell. I am working on getting a couple of things sorted here, so bear with me while I get rocking and rolling with you guys yet again. So, before I get started here, I just updated the description for today's session because while I am doing show and tell, I have some new updates today. I was working on some things yesterday I want to get you guys updated on, and I have a new idea that I started building, and I'm at the very infant stages of that. So we'll get into it in just one second. But I'm actually downloading the cover image for today's session. Got a new cover image for that. So just giving that a little plug. All right. So now that we've taken care of that, thank you again for joining me. My name is Will Melton. This is, uh, I don't even know what we're calling this, Vibe Coding with Will Melton. I'm in Richmond, Virginia, and I've been a power user of AI for quite some time now. I'm learning how to be a even better power user, and I'm diving into the world of coding with AI. I'm using Lovable. I've used Cursor and Visual Studio, Copilot, a lot of different IDEs out there. And if you're not familiar with that term, this is an integrated development environment. So an IDE lets you have a preview of your dashboard while you're also able to code at the same time. So you can see your code, you can interface with the code using the chatbot. You can see your traffic, you can see your preview, and all of your cloud features. So your AI, your database, your various connectors, all the things that are going to power your React application. This could be a website, could be a mobile app, it could be anything you can imagine. It can be a tool to power your business. It could be anything that you can imagine, and that's what I'm hoping you will do. Is imagine what you can build and then go build it, because you don't have to know what you need to know to do it. You don't need to be a developer. You just have to say, hey, this is an idea I have. What do you think? Is it worth building this? Can we perhaps make it happen? And you'll find that you can build more than you realize. So today I'm going to take you through a few different things that I've been working on. I am connecting a number of different things together today. So you see me trying to install the latest product roadmap for Will Melton Studio. I did not build a product roadmap in Will Melton Studio. These product roadmap items do not belong to Will Melton Studio. I'll tell you a little bit about why in just a minute, but I'm looking to have the best roadmap that I can in every application that I build. I've been building a lot of applications. If you've been following me, we're probably up to 10 apps this year. My website says 7. We have some more to add to the mix. We're going to talk about Agent Workroom today. That's going to be one of our exciting auction items that's going to happen here in February. I'll tell you a little bit about how you can get in on the action for that. Stick around with me. But what I really want to do is take this really awesome roadmap that I've been building that is automating my development pipeline and make it so that I can use this in all of these other applications that I'm also building. And I've got a few different apps pulled up here today that I'll show you some of the behind the scenes on, but I'm kind of excited about this because I've been nerding out for a couple of days now on the roadmap manager. But the idea here is that I keep copying and pasting all these files from one project to the other, and inevitably they're missing different features from one to the other, and it's kind of been a time suck to be able to replicate that. So I'm like, okay, can I build, kind of plugins for Lovable? And so this is the first, maybe not the very first, but it's one of the first applications that I've built with the pure intention to be able to take this and connect it to other places. So the idea here is that we have an SDK. If you're not familiar with that, that is a software development kit. What I'm able to do now is copy the SDK prompt and paste that into another build, and then ask it to recreate this product roadmap over there. And there's a few different cool things that go on. One of the things that happens is it'll actually know what the roadmap version is. This one doesn't have the current version deployed, but right now we have version 2.2. And what's going to happen is when I deploy this code on another application, this application is then going to check and say, do I have the latest roadmap version? And if it doesn't, we're going to be able to prompt Lovable to be able to go and pull the latest SDK down, get that updated, and make sure that we're getting the best development experience that we can, the fastest, most efficient development experience that we can. And if none of that makes any sense to you, just hang out with me for a little while and you'll start to see how data begins to be shared from one application to another as I work today. I'm not going to spend as much time coding as I will showing, but I am kind of working actively on a couple of things that is going to advance our work today, and I'm going to do some deployments in order to advance the ball on those builds. One of the things that is not in our agent roadmap today is our sound rewrite application. This is something that I'm really excited about because it's almost done. And I've got a lot of dummy content in here, so just ignore any of the data or testimonials. That's all just for marketing purposes. But this application is designed to help me finish my book. And I've been working on it for about a year. And I have about 60,000 words, and it's a mess, and I need to get it together. And so I've been working hard to be able to create the perfect application for me to organize my book and invite my coach into it and invite my editor in, and eventually, hopefully, show the books and pitches that I want to write to publishers who also share in this ecosystem. So this one needs to get added to our roadmap. And so I'm going to go ahead and give a quick update to this one. And I'm going to go take a look and make sure that I didn't actually put this one in here already. Now, if you didn't join me yesterday, I updated my studio website to enable me to be able to import from a URL. So in the time since we met yesterday, or maybe on yesterday's session, I purchased the sound rewrite URL, and so we now have a proper domain, and we can actually take a look at this website now. This is just in test mode, so if you were to come and visit this, you wouldn't be able to subscribe, but it is close to being launched, so just bear with me while I put a real favicon in that website. But for the time being, I'd want to get that into our app library. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use this import function to import the sound rewrite website, and I got an error message, so we're going to go ahead and let that try to fix itself. We did this successfully yesterday, so we'll figure out what's going on with that. But essentially what that's going to do for us is it's going to pull down all the information from this website and populate it into my application list. And it should, if we're successful, and it did work on this build, it's going to pull down, it's going to go ahead and automatically capture the screenshot of dark mode and the screenshot of light mode, as well as some of the other details of the application, so that it can get published here without me having to do a lot of work. That is using, I'm getting it wrong. I want to say it's called Firecrawl, but I could be wrong about that. So let's just go in here to their settings. Go to settings here. Connectors. Firecrawl. Okay, so this is a scraping tool that has a native built-in function. And this is something that is enabling us to automate a lot of the capture of information that I was previously doing manually. I was going to the website, I was capturing a screenshot, I was switching to light mode, capturing a screenshot, changing the image dimensions so they weren't so big and renaming them, and just so much manual work. Hey, Michael, thank you for joining me. I just saw you pop in there. And so there's just some of what I'll share today is, if I get to it, is how I'm thinking about the future and how I actually think that these websites and these IDEs are going to really help us cut a lot of the work out by leveraging some of these built-in connectors. But I'm already doing that. I'm trying to leverage these built-in connectors to be able to take it a step further. And I'm going to just give you guys a quick, let me just take a quick look here. So apparently I have the latest I don't know what that does. That's new. I didn't have this SDK publisher before, so I'm just going to type here SDK publisher. Here. We'll let that figure out what's going on there, but I'm going to lose my train of thought here if I don't get focused. So yeah, so I'm working on being able to add those. Let me see what this said. It says add retry logic. I think something just didn't go well with that first import. So let's try it again. Sound rewrite. We're going to import and see if, okay, this is working the way it was working yesterday. So this is capturing the screenshots automatically. It's going and grabbing some of that information from the home page of this site. And it's also taking that, ingesting it, and using AI to be able to come up with some language that would make sense for my studio website. So a rules-based AI sort of influenced process, but cutting a lot of the manual work out. Now, I'm talking to you guys while I'm doing this. I could have clicked over to a different tab and let it do its thing. One of the things I noticed yesterday is that it is not capturing both the light and the dark mode on import. And so that's something that I need to fix. But I don't have a product roadmap on this particular product, my studio website. And so I am going to let the roadmap happen before I prompt this problem with the light mode and the dark mode, because I don't want to interrupt my workflows. I don't want to slow down with a problem. I want to actually publish this and move on, and then I'll solve that later, but I'm going to solve it by having it in the roadmap and leveraging my workflow to get it processed by the AI. Now, here's what I want to show you. Here's what I did. So inside of the roadmap, we now have a sprint queue, and I don't have any active roadmap items here because they're all done. They're in review. But if I were to have some roadmap items for the product roadmap manager, I could hit this auto assemble sprint button if it actually recognized that there were some tasks to be done. And it would think about the proper order for them and assess them and build a sprint that makes sense that I could then share to Lovable. And then I would copy this execute sprint button. I'd click the execute sprint button, and it would actually update this for us so that we can just take that prompt to execute that sprint and paste it into the chat window over here. And that's been working really well. Now, a few other things that have happened to this builder, this roadmap manager since I built it, is some auto queuing of the next task in the sprint queue. So it is going to automatically append to each of those sprint items some instructions. Say, hey, keep going, keep going, keep going, because I don't want to have to intervene every time. And that seems to be working pretty well. It seems to be moving through those items pretty clearly. And then I also installed this clarity scanner that is essentially checking to see if there is enough detail on some of these items. And I can copy this prompt and paste it into Lovable, and it's going to begin to ask me questions about all those things so that I can give it information, and it will feed that information back into the product roadmap so that we can then process these later without having to touch them, never having to type anything into the thing at all. And this is something I've been spending a lot of time on in the last week because I've been building a lot and I've been recognizing that I've been doing a lot of the same things over and over and over again. And so I'm trying to eliminate those repetitive processes and streamline them with this. And I'm trying to take it a step further by being able to install these roadmaps with. I think that might exceed our window, but we'll see. Let's see what happens. I'm going to say let's update. Yeah, it's 50,000 characters is the max. And maybe I don't need to actually copy and paste it there. I'm going to just try to copy the deployment again in the way that we had originally done it. So again, keep in mind that I am trying to do a couple of things here. If you didn't join me yesterday, one thing I want to do is be able to get the latest version of the roadmap into my studio so that I can begin to use it and solve that one problem that I mentioned earlier. But the other thing that I want to do here is I want to automatically show on the front end of my applications that I am selling what is in the roadmap. So, what I've done with the roadmap is that I've created the ability to show individual roadmap items publicly. So, I can say, I want people to see this roadmap item, and that's going to be able to allow it to automatically populate over here in this one. This is agent workroom. This is not the right one, but in any event, the agent workroom roadmap, I would say yes, I want that to show up publicly, and as long as I've connected these two together, this is going to essentially allow me to just publicly display the expansion paths without me ever having to touch it. So hands-free connectivity of data between two different apps that I'm building, and this build is actually designed to connect multiple different applications together, and all I have to do is grab the API URL and have to have already installed the key. But as long as the key pairing has happened, we'll be able to cross that over. Now, the reason I did it this way is because I could have brought all of the roadmap items into this manager and had it be the central database. But that wasn't the intention. The intention was this is going to be the central code base, and ultimately I can connect point to point any different application I want. I could eventually come back and make this a central point and grab things from this as the central manager. But that adds a lot of complexity that I don't think is necessary at this point, at least for the reason why I built this in the first place. So that's the thinking behind my workflow improvements. And I'm just going to quickly read this question to make sure. Okay, so I need to ask a question. Why are you referring to Agent Workroom? Because this SDK has to do with Roadmap Manager. Agent Workroom is something that we're working on specifically, but I haven't installed the same roadmap on that one, so we're not going to be able to connect them yet. But I want to understand why you are specifically referring to Agent Workroom, because the SDK shouldn't say anything about it. That's just the example case for our build. So I told the roadmap manager that I gave it the scenario of Agent Workroom being our case for sharing data from one build to the other. And that is the reason why I think it might have some reference in the SDK about it, because it's now talked to me about Agent Workroom twice. maybe that's a lot to follow, but my brain somehow is able to follow the threads. But that's what I've been working on. This is going to be working here pretty soon. I'm getting pretty darn close. But I will pivot over and actually talk about the product today that I am auctioning off. And Agent Workroom is that product. So we'll just dive right in. If you have any questions for me, please leave a comment wherever you're joining me. If you are on YouTube, that is a place you can subscribe if you're not on YouTube. That's Will Melton Vibes. You can also follow me on Twitch. That's WILLL. That's 3 L's. Melton. I'll fix that in a couple months when they let me update it. And you can follow me on LinkedIn, Will Melton. And you can watch me live in all of those places. I will be doing this on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday when I am at my computer and able to hang out with you guys. I'm really interested in, more than anything, helping other people see what it looks like to take an idea from concepts and bring it all the way up to something that you could prototype and show to somebody else. So I am going to dive right into Agent Workroom. So the idea behind Agent Workroom is the problem that prompted this for me is that I have a particularly complicated service that I sell. It's difficult to convey the total value of that service to my clients, and I found myself constantly trying to figure out the best way to address all the various facets of the complicated service that we deliver in a very short amount of time, while also asking for not an insubstantial amount of money. And trying to figure out the best approach to do that, I thought took a mix of experts, from a psychologist to a pricing expert to a CFO to a CEO to an account strategist to I don't remember if it was a project manager. There was a few different experts that I thought if they debated this honestly, we might have a better outcome. And so I built Agent Workroom with the ambition to build an engine that allows you to do just that. So what you can do with Agent Workroom is assemble a team of experts and allow them to debate a particular problem that you have. You define what the outcome is that you're ideally looking for, and you put them to work. And what this will do, and I'll show you our agent pool. We have the ability to deploy from existing agents, or we have the ability to add new agents to the pool to our liking. We have the ability to create projects that can then be populated with particular experts. You have the ability to share the team, the context. There's all the sorts of things that you might load. In this particular case, I loaded call transcripts and proposals. And you have all the different sessions where they can review the materials that are shared and have these dialogues. So to share a bit of what this looks like, we have our product outcome here, which is what the goal was, and then you can see what the dialogue was between all of the various stakeholders. We also have the ability in here to ask follow-up questions so that those various stakeholders can then redebate based on that question. And there's more work that needs to be done to really think about how an individual or a team may engage with these agents in a meaningful way and to get meaningful outcomes. So there's more work to be done on this, and we have a product roadmap that is going to guide us in this development. But what I aim to be able to do here is a few different things. One is to fully vet the business case and really make sure that that has been fully thought through. What are all the different facets of this build, and how are we going to effectively take our buyer through the full business case? That has to be built into this. We also have to build up some marketing pages around this so that the front end folks might see the value case, effective marketing at the end of the day. So there's some work that we're going to have to do to this. And We're also going to have to be mindful about how I effectively talk about agent workroom here in this interface. So at this point, I would say that this is at a relatively, I wouldn't say infant stage, but it's relatively early in that it does what it's supposed to do, but it probably hasn't really thought about, we haven't really thought about all the different ways that it's going to attach itself ultimately to the marketplace. And so there's going to be more work to be done there. And what I'm going to do in order to accomplish that is a couple of things. I'm going to leverage my brain. I'm going to think a little bit more about this problem. I got out of it what I wanted to get out of it. I got the pricing outcome I was looking for. And since then, I really haven't had a particularly complicated problem that has prompted me to come back to this agent pool. And so maybe one of the things that I think about here is, well, uh, how do I make this a stickier tool? How do I make it something that people want to use on the regular basis? How do I make it easier for people to use? So those might be some of the questions that I answer to be able to tease out a better product. And I might actually just ask AI, I'm building this agent pool. What might be something that I would want to do to it to make it better? I do that all the time because I can't always break through the glass ceiling of my brain. We have limitations, we all do. And that's why we ask for help. We can ask people for help, but we can also ask AI for help, and that's not uncommon. And so what you see here is I've loaded this up. I took a little bit of time over the last couple of days to think about some of the other applications that I'm building and some of the workflow improvements that I'm introducing into them so that I can speed up my own utility or speed up my use and improve the utility of those applications. But also, how do I take some of those ideas and move them over to this project so that it can also be successful. So if you're watching this, you're getting a full view into the product roadmap. But in the future, with these builds, I'm going to indicate whether or not these are available to be visible to the other side. And I don't actually know that that's something that we can do now. Yeah, I haven't. This doesn't have the latest version of the product roadmap that we're building over here, the 2.2, but that will happen in short order and pretty soon you'll be able to have some visibility into the expansion paths. Now, I'm going to knock a lot of this work out. Now, one of the reasons why I'm interested in creating this ecosystem and this automation is that I'm not going to rest on Agent Workroom. I'm not done with it. Whoever builds it next is not going to be done with it, even after I transfer it to them. And so, my interest here is in continuing to add value to this application, continuing to advance the product roadmap, and continuing to get this to be a viable application that provides real utility for the marketplace. Now, I could do some competitive research. That's going to be an important thing to do. That might even be a tab that I include in here in the future so that the buyers can have some visibility of what that competitive landscape looks like. But my job as a marketer is to be thinking about how to take what I'm building and convey it to potential buyers who, an ideal buyer might be somebody who's not really a full ideas person, but they see the value in helping other people stress test ideas, or maybe, some of these other applications that I'm building. You never know where somebody's interest might be sparked. And so my job is to communicate all the things that could spark somebody's interests and help them understand why they might want to buy this and run with it as a business. Now, as I think about the future, I have to be honest. I think if you're not being hyper competitive, you are probably going to be gobbled up by a prompt in AI as more people become comfortable with these tools and understand how to use them. It's going to be easier for people to say, well, do I really need to have uh, a pressure tested AI agent workroom? Is that going to be something that AI is just going to do for us naturally one day in the future? And one might argue, well, couldn't I just use deep research to do that now? And the answer is yes. But the idea with this and with anything else that I'm building is that we can speed up other people's workflows by connecting them to resources that matter faster. And so in this case, it's going to be a library of experts that you can deploy on a project so that you can get that sound advice. Now, some might say, well, we're eating into consultant territory of work, and yeah, perhaps we are. But if it's a matter of moving information around and capturing information in a singular place so that that advice can be delivered, perhaps this can be an incredibly powerful tool for consultants to be able to get ahead of their competitors and to be able to deliver insights to their customers faster. At the end of the day, the customer may not want to have anything to do with the process of pressure testing ideas. They just want to have confidence in their decision making. So I can actually see real value in this, and that's why I do have a $50,000 price tag on it. But we're going to auction it off, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to find out. Maybe, maybe nobody has any interest in this. Maybe I'm still too early in this whole ecosystem of building, and my audience is sparse, and I don't have enough people to actually put eyeballs on this. Now, here's what takes us to another thing. If you were to visit my website, you would see something that is interesting. We do have a referral program on studio.willmelton.com, and what this will do for you is it will enable you to get paid for connecting me to potential investors and potential buyers. Um, this is a experiment. We're doing this live, but I'm building real things of value, and I cannot do this endlessly if there's not a way to be compensated for it. And I don't have an endless staff. I have a team of people who are working on AI optimization for visibility in large language models, and that pays our bills, and that's what our clients expect us to be focused on. So that's what we primarily focus on. But these applications have a life, they have a owner, they have a future. And I hope to connect the right entrepreneur with the right ideas. And you don't need to be a buyer. You don't have to be an investor. You could just be somebody who's interested in connecting people to what it is that I'm building. So I won't make a big sales pitch here, but I will share some other applications with you so that you can get a little bit more behind the scenes on what it is that we're doing. So as this is a show and tell session, we're going to run for about an hour today. So I'm in for about 30 minutes. I'm going to go for another 30. If you're just joining us, my name is Will Melton. I am an agency owner. We do lots of different things. We focus on helping clients show up in AI whenever people ask questions that are relevant to their business. We also build experiences that help our clients connect to customers in meaningful ways, accelerate commerce, and leverage AI and connectivity to different tools to be able to speed up workflows and really embrace this decade, this modern era that's empowered by rapidly shifting technology. And I'm just excited to be able to share with you guys what I've learned. It's been a ride for sure. I've been working in this space of AI for about 3.5 years now. We're early content writers using, was originally using Jasper. Now uh, we've moved on to AirOps with a sprinkling of ChatGPT in there. But beyond content writing, and honestly, nowadays it's content engineering. If you're not familiar with that term, check it out. It's a new role out there in the world of AI. You have to learn how to build workflows and apply rules-based principles to creating great outcomes. And a lot of people building some cool things to be able to empower our futures. I don't build everything that I need to use. AirOps is a great partner for us, so we are happy partners of theirs. Other tools we use that we know are leveraging AI to deliver an excellent insight and utility. Cognizo is another tool that we use that is doing a little bit of scraping of large language models to get a visibility into where you might be showing up in them for prompts that matter. So I'm not building everything, but some of the things that I will turn your attention to that it is in the studio. SousChef.ai. This is we'll call this the Uber of home chefs. That can kind of explain what it is for you, but imagine that you can have assistance from anywhere from recipe creation to shopping to meal prep to actually cooking your meals at home, depending on the level of service you need and what day of the week you need it. Flexibility for eaters and chefs alike. That one is pretty far along from a development standpoint, but it needs to be tested. And we're going to hold on to this one for a little bit because I think there's a lot of potential here. Not ready for investment yet. We're going to take that one a little bit further before we do. But uh, BoomMic.ai is one that is a sort of a new type of meeting tool where you can talk to AI and you can actually have it participate as a partner in your meetings, whether that be through Zoom or an in person meeting. It's a note taker, but it also listens. It looks for context and it is tied in with, let's see, Perplexity for its knowledge base. So it can actually search the web and give you real time analysis of information. But its specialty is, in addition to being a live verbal assistant, it is keeping the context of your meeting and enabling the assessment of tasks that have been established or any kind of decisions that were made, giving you a little bit more context and connecting that work back to your systems. So, whatever your task management system is, and other things. We are opening a new studio in February. We're going to have a couple Studio A and Studio B. West Broad Studios is the name of our studio space. This will be in the new Exponent 21 offices, and we've built out the website to be able to begin to sell memberships and rent space in that studio, so we can begin to earn revenue from that investment. And we're going to have to pay for our microphones. We're going to get some nice microphones for that, so you can expect studio quality sound if you're in the Richmond area and you're looking for a beautiful studio to record in. We'll have lights, backdrops. It'll be modular, so you'll be able to move around and change it up. Have lots of different flexible ways to film your content. Hydration media is an interesting one. This one is one of the earlier builds that I've created that is designed to help us. No, I haven't published that yet, so I guess I can't show that one off, but I can just tell you a little bit about it. This is primarily a back-end application. It does have some front-end functionality from a rentals perspective, but it helps us manage the movement of our water stations at Richmond Water. It tracks our events, our rentals. It puts sponsorship opportunities when we have active rentals and events into a library where they can be purchased by sponsors, where they can place an ad on the surface of the refill station. We can manage the totality of the stations through this application and the filters themselves. As we pick up and drop off the stations, we have a process for capturing the usage and putting it into the application. And this application sends sustainability reports to our event managers so they know how many bottles were saved. And it tracks our filter usage so that we know when to change the filters out on these refill stations. So this was, again, an early build. It needs to be buttoned up. It needs to have a little bit more development work done. But this was back when I was still prompting things kind of one at a time. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Thanks for joining me here. Sorry if I'm a couple minutes late and seeing your message there. Just talk a little bit about some of the things that I'm building that you can find in studio.willmelton.com. Feel free to ask any questions. I won't be typing responses to you guys, but I will take a periodic look up to the chat window to see if there's anything I'm missing. This one I'm going to spend maybe a bit more time on next week because this is an extensive build, and we're going to be seeking investors on this project in very short order. We've got some meetings lined up to discuss this, but this is looking at about a $5 million investment, most likely to get off the ground due to the competitive nature of the finance industry. So we'll tell you a little bit more about that next week, but it's going to be a game changer, I believe, for personal wealth building, motivated by a lot of thinking on the affordability crisis that we face and other barriers that a lot of people are experiencing. Carl is an early iteration of a program that helps our agency manage the many different things that go into optimizing a client for AI. So, all the things that we have to do, from auditing to having clarity of what the objectives are in the client's profile, and foundational brand strategy elements, to the cataloging of their content, to the optimization queue, to the understanding of what's happening in real time in the marketplace that we can publish on, to what we're going to be publishing in the near term, and what could come further down the road, recommendations, reports, so many different things that go into the work that we do, that we felt it was appropriate to build an application that would help us in the aid of delivering that. And we're building this for other agencies too. So our next iteration of this is going to be to make this available to other agencies to manage more effectively their go-to-market strategy for AI, SEO, or generative engine optimization. That has a lot of different terms to it. Vision 2200. So, this is an application that I built in a weekend a couple of weeks ago before Christmas. This application allows users to be able to explore ideas that are in the Vision 2200 project. And these are various ideas that span all kinds of sectors of our society, challenge areas, and tiers of governance. And then some things might be things that we can solve soon, and some things might be ideas that might take longer to play out. But the idea with this application is that anybody can vote and interact with these things. They can indicate when something should be saved to their personal vision, or perhaps they have a team that they want to work with to be able to assemble a work plan that connects several different ideas to one another. And this is probably a bit in its infancy, but what it starts to do is it helps us understand where there is connectivity between these different ideas. So, as you take a look at this, the navigation is probably the best way to understand how this works. And it gives you a sense for how all these different areas intersect in our society, and how the different system lenses are drivers and barriers and connectors to all of these different ideas. It's a bit in depth on the relationship perspective, but that is the point. We want to be able to give people different ways to think about, how do we make a better future? How do we create something that is, um, a reality that we can actually see manifested? So this is a little pet project of mine that is based on just a lot of things I've learned from Leadership Metro Richmond, and the service I have extended to various nonprofit boards, as well as just playing with AI and thinking about ways to connect information together so that we can effectively be better. I have a couple more that I will share with you before we run out of time. This one's pretty cool. This one's also related to my industry, and this isn't yet something that you can dig deep into, but the way that StoryTrex works is it's designed for localities to be able to take information that's important to attracting people to their region, and making that information amplified across an ecosystem of connectivity, of stakeholders who have an interest in that information making its way to the internet, and potentially getting a competitive edge when people ask AI about places that could be interesting, places that could be good to live in, places that could be good to visit, places that could be good to open a business. Regions have the ability to triangulate their messaging, and this is ingesting ideas from one stakeholder and processing it through a transformer to be able to output it to another stakeholder in a way that is more relevant to their constituents. So this is an interesting tool that will enable for regions to get a competitive advantage in AI. And this is relevant to some of the work that I'm doing. I won't bore you with that, but it is that's going to be production fairly soon because I have an active project that needs that. I haven't talked much about AI Ready RVA today, but if you are new to this, AI Ready RVA is quite literally a motivator of a lot of things happening in Richmond in the AI space. So whether it be me deciding to vibe code live with you guys and show you what we can build, or if it's people coming together in person to share what they know with one another, share ideas, share challenges, share concerns. And it's a great community that's growing at a rapid clip. If you're not familiar, go to aireadyrva.com. We actually we vibe coded that website in some weekend sessions and some, nights, weekends, some side hours. I built a profit sharing dashboard for my agency to be able to tune my team's attention to activities that are profit motivated instead of just whatever. I'm not saying that everything is whatever in decision making land at my agency, but in a lot of companies, the leader or the leaders are the ones who make the decisions. And I believe that a great organization is one that empowers all people to make great decisions. But it's all driven by sustainability. If you cannot make a profit, you cannot sustain your existence in the world of capitalism. So that is what that's designed to do. Discover AIO is a community that we've built for those who are learning what we do. We are some of the earliest people to really capture the moment and capture the how-to on landing in AI for your various prompts that are related to your business, your industry. And so we said, well, what's next? What do we need to be doing in order to solidify our position as experts in this field? Our people can get certified in AI SEO. This is about 6 hours worth of written and video training. We have a collection of resources that is growing, and we will continue to expand on that as our community grows. And our community members can also publish on this platform. And so you will find our growing list of community members here, and you'll see a directory of others in the industry, because if we're doing our job, we're the Wikipedia of our industry. So we're showing off everybody who's out there who matters and connecting people to that information. So I don't see my competitors as competitors. I see them as compatriots in the marketplace. We are all working toward the same goals. And if we can all be better, we're going to perhaps push out some of those folks that are not putting in the work, not really interested in making things happen. So that is Discover AIO, and I still have a little bit of time left, so I think I might get down here to the bottom of the list. This isn't everything. I do have a couple of other tools, but while I talk about this, I will pop in and check on what I don't have in my studio yet, so that I can tell you what those things are. Sound rewrite. This is another. This one's built for me. This is built for me to be able to effectively finish my book. This is maybe one of the most exciting builds that I have, and I think I showed this off a little bit earlier. So let me see if I have it tabbed in here. One of these is it. So the way that this works is I get to either start with writing a pitch, or I can dive straight into writing. And from here, I can either import what I have written, or I can begin to create in this space and listen and do all the things that are going to help me get to a finished product. So I'm going to go back into one that I have open already and show you how I can navigate this and see my chapters and reorder my chapters and do some other things like delete. I don't want to do that. But we can essentially organize paragraphs and sections of the book with ease, but we can also listen to these paragraphs as audiobooks. So I get to listen to my book without ever having to come and read it again, which is quite painful for me, I will be honest. And I'll be able to leave comments right there as I'm listening. I'll have to pause it, but I'll leave a comment and say, hey, this is what I want to fix later. So this will help me edit my books with ease. I'm really excited about this. I think a lot of authors would love to hear the audiobook version of their book. I will tell you that I've had to learn how to navigate some expensive territory on the voice generation front with 11 Labs, but I think I've got that under control. From the business front, if you're wondering, there is now a add-on for credits for the voice, the TTS service. So depending, this is probably going to change a little bit here, but depending on what your needs are, we want you to be able to listen to as much of your content that you've written as possible, and we just need to be able to make sure we don't lose money in the process. So we're going to extend credits to people based on what we're paying for them, and allow folks to listen to whatever length book they have while putting a cap on it from a business perspective. And if you're just joining me, we've got about 10 minutes left today in this live vibe coding show and tell. I haven't done much coding today, so I'll maybe take us out with that, but touch on a couple of other things that I'm working on. I've got a game that I'm building for a client. I'll talk more about that once we release it here in about 6 weeks, 5 weeks maybe. I have skinned a partner portal for a client as a means to help convey the total value of that build to that team. Everybody's very enthusiastic about it, and they have said yes to having us build that. So I'm excited about that. I'll share that, or at least what I can of it, in the future. We have a new chatbot that I'm building for Exponent 21 that will actually be a verbal chatbot that you can talk to on our website. And I have some micro tools that I've been building that are designed to just give some very specific functionality and very specific use cases that, generally speaking, for the most part, I'll likely build into other more robust tools that I'm building. But there are a few others that are not yet in my studio, but I will get those loaded as I have the ability to do so, and as they reach a level of completeness that's appropriate for them to make their way in here. But I said I was going to code to take us out, so let me get in here. I'm going to close out of some of these tabs because I can get a little tab happy. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to understand why my SDK for my roadmap is not playing nice. And so I'm going to read this. Bear with me for just a second. So I'm not quite sure if it's actually downloaded all the files to be able to build out all those features, but it's referencing them appropriately, which tells me that it has some clarity. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, one, I want you to go ahead and build the features from scratch. Hold on, let me reread this. I'm going to go back to the other app because I feel like we're still not there. Um, I'm still having a problem on the other application where it is not recognizing the instructions enough to know that it needs to install the code. Now, the concern that I have with this response from my other project is that if it builds the features from scratch, it's going to be burning through compute. And really all I needed to do is to copy the files. I don't need to build anything if the files are being copied. What I do need to do is make sure that the copied files do work with this application. So there's going to be some building that needs to go on, but I don't quite understand yet why we are still having to fight with the installation part when I think I've been pretty explicit that our instructions are to replicate the roadmap and its functionality so that we can execute faster development work on these other applications with the great features that we've built into this product roadmap. Now, as I do this prompt here and I get to a close of this session, I just wanted to give you guys a little tip with these builds. Sometimes you can get a little frustrated with the AI, and this isn't isolated to Lovable. It's all of the AI tools don't always interpret us the way that we hope that they would, and we have a couple of different options on how we respond to that. We can either be mad and try to fight it, or we can recognize that AI is not a person. It's not smart. It is confined to our instructions, and our better option, as opposed to getting angry, is to start again, to remind AI what we're trying to build and remind it that its objective is to create great software, not solve whack-a-mole problems. So, as opposed to expressing frustration and telling AI what it's gotten wrong, I find that it's more productive to tell it what we want, even if the system is throwing up obstacles and building things that don't seem to make sense. You can always go back to older versions if you're not happy with what it's built. That might be a fast way to say, maybe not this one. But you can also just say, look, I need you to understand what we're trying to accomplish here. We need to have these functions, and these are the business functions that we're trying to accomplish to achieve. So take that into account. We need to build, clean software that's efficient and effective and not overly complicated. And sometimes, if we don't necessarily know what the answer is, we might have it ask us questions. What do you need to know about what I'm trying to accomplish to be able to make a great work plan? And it knows how to ask the right questions to be able to get the context it needs to arrive at a conclusion that you can feel confident with. And I feel like that is the real kicker to all of this, is that patience is definitely key, but being willing to go to great lengths to describe why you're building what you're building. It's going to help you to build better content products, and it's going to help you to articulate on the marketing front why your product is better than anything else out there. And so I think that this process of building and refinement is one that, for me, is rewarding, because you can see that refinement in real time. You can actually feel the improved user experience and really rapid iterations. And then you can also make things happen that you couldn't make happen before. So for me, this has just been a ton of fun. Hanging out with you guys is also fun, and so I hope you'll follow me over on YouTube and catch all my sessions. It's Will Melton Vibes is my channel name there. Catch me on Twitch, Will, Will, 3 L's, Melton. And you can also follow me on LinkedIn as I go live on that channel as well. And I will share some clips, some of the best clips I'll share out there. So follow me all over for that. But if you haven't yet done this, come over here and fill out the subscribe form on studio.willmelton.com so that you can become a referral partner and get paid for connecting us to buyers. All you have to do is share an app that's for sale or up for auction in your socials or in an email to somebody. And when they click on those links and fill out the interest form, you'll get credit for that. So it's a pretty straightforward process. And you'll also get notifications about cool stuff that we've got going on. I haven't wired up any new notifications, so if you've subscribed and you haven't gotten anything yet, that's just because I haven't sent anything. But we're at the hour, and so I'm going to wrap things up here. I hope you've enjoyed learning today. I hope you got some ideas on how you can build some things for yourself. And join me again this Saturday at 1 p.m. for my next live vibe coding session. If you have any ideas about what I should build, leave comments in the posts online, or join me on the next session and tell me what you think I should build. I can usually build something pretty quickly, and we'll tell you a little bit more about the latest thing that I'm working on for my industry, likely also next Monday when we have a little bit more advancement on this project. So building a new content management system to empower visibility in AI. So one more for the books for 2026, 52 apps in the year. We'll probably knock that out of the park, but I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I hope you will join me again on the next session. If you haven't watched full session yet, if you wanted to catch what you've got, you can click on sessions here and see all of my live sessions. The whole history will be available on the site as we go forward. All right, guys, have a great evening. If you're someplace else in the world, have a great day. We'll see you soon. Have fun building, and be nice to your neighbors. We need a little positivity in the world out there.